So Donald Trump has rendered his judgment on the murders of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. He was referring to both of those cases when Donald Trump used the words should have not happened. That means those cases, if they should not have happened, are murder or manslaughter or negligent homicide, and they are both cases of wrongful death, which should be adjudicated in civil lawsuits, in addition to any criminal procedure in a possible homicide prosecution. Donald Trump said it should have not happened in what could be his most watched interview of the year, because Donald Trump knows that that is what the people of the United States of America believe. Donald Trump has seen polls, and he knows that the polls are crushing his invasion of American cities. And that's why Donald Trump is saying it should have not happened. The protesters forced him to say that. That's why Donald Trump told Tom Llamas that he ordered the removal of 700 of his invading agents from Minneapolis. Donald Trump said that that was his idea. That retreat was his idea. Donald Trump told Tom Llamas a poisonous lie, insulting the intelligence of anyone who will hear it. Polls show that Donald Trump's Super Bowl audience for this interview will not believe his poisonous lie about his ICE agents, because a new poll shows that 63% disapprove of how ICE is enforcing immigration laws. 63% disapprove of Donald Trump's invasion forces. 61% believe that Donald Trump's administration has not given an honest account of the shooting death of Alex Preddy by federal immigration agents. Donald Trump was speaking directly to those 61% when he said it should have not happened. But Donald Trump is going to offend the 63% who disapprove of the way ICE is enforcing immigration laws when they hear his sick and poisonous lie about ICE and the murders of Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
I'm not happy with what happened there. Nobody could be happy, and ICE wasn't happy either.
ICE wasn't happy? ICE shouldn't be happy. Most law enforcement officers are not happy when they are forced to fire their guns in defense of their lives. Most law enforcement officers who kill in the line of duty are not happy to do it. It is the rarest thing a police officer in America can do. Almost all police officers in America never have occasion to shoot at anyone in their entire careers. You'd never know that from the trigger-happy cops delivered to us in the fantasies of Hollywood screenwriters. But most police officers in a 30-year career never shoot at anyone. And the good police officers who are forced to shoot at someone never feel happy about it. But Donald Trump's invasion forces are different. If you have been given reason by what you've seen on video to suspect that they are enjoying the cruelty, you have been proven right. Donald Trump's Border Patrol agent Charles Exum tried to murder a 30-year-old American citizen in Chicago, Miramar Martinez. She's a Montessori school teacher who suffered 7 gunshot wounds fired at her by Agent Charles Exum for absolutely no reason. And the legal proof that there was no reason is that the criminal charge filed against her was dropped. She was accused briefly before the charge was dropped of trying to ram her car into Charles Exum's massive SUV. Video shows that that never happened, according to Miramar Martinez's attorneys. And Charles Exum drove that SUV from Chicago to Maine, apparently to remove the evidence, the crucial evidence, remove the proof that it never happened, because surely there would have been body damage on that SUV if she ever tried to ram that SUV. How did Charles Exum feel after he discovered that the person he was firing at was an American citizen born and raised in Chicago with no criminal record, who was a Montessori school teacher, who had never committed a crime in her life and was on her way to her church that morning to deliver some clothes she was giving away. Did he say, I'm not happy with it? Did he say it should not have happened? No, he did not. We know what he said. After the shooting, he texted his Trump invasion force teammates, and what he said is the clearest window we have into the dark, ugly hearts of Donald Trump's invasion forces. Miramar Martinez testified to a joint House and Senate hearing yesterday where not a single Republican showed up, and the text immediately after she was shot by the man who tried to murder her were read by Congressman Robert Garcia.
It's disgusting, shameful, and it gets worse. Ms. Martinez, these are images of texts sent by the agent who shot you. And they're actually disturbing to read, but I think it's important for the public to see this. The agent linked an article about your shooting and texted, read it, 5 shots, 7 holes. I fired 5 rounds and she had 7 holes. Put that in your book, boys. Oh, well, it is what it is. Happens. This is someone that works for the United States government. I fired 5 rounds and she had 7 holes. Now, he was talking about you, and it's our understanding that he was actually bragging about his aim shooting an unarmed American citizen. Is that right?
Correct.
The entrance and exit wounds created those 7 wounds from the 5 shots. The reply texts from his no doubt approving teammates were redacted when his texts were introduced in court before the case was dismissed. He texted to his friends a news report of the shooting, and his last entry in the text chain was, "Sweet, my 15 minutes of fame, LMAO." The deeply perverse and murderously dangerous Charles Exum, who should never be allowed to carry a gun for any reason for the rest of his life, could not have been happier after shooting the 30-year-old woman for no reason. Laugh. That's what the L means, and LMAO, you know what the rest of it means. That is as deeply evil as American law enforcement can get. Charles Exum doesn't have a long career in federal service ahead of him because he will be fired within days after the next presidential inauguration, when a Democrat is very likely going to be taking the oath of office. 63% of America disapproves of Charles Exum. 63% of America disapproves of the way ICE is enforcing immigration laws, and they reach that conclusion without ever seeing those texts from Charles Exum. And those 63% will be repulsed by Donald Trump's pathological lie about ICE agents feeling bad about the murders of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Listen to how far Donald Trump was willing to go in telling this perverse lie.
It should have not happened. It was a very sad, to me, it was a very sad incident, 2 incidents. And, you know, they mentioned the one now, they don't mention the other. Well, I think they were both sad. And, you know who feels worse about it than anybody? The people of ICE.
Worse about it than anybody. It takes a pathological liar for whom words mean nothing to claim that the federal agents who murdered Renee Good and Alex Preddy feel worse about it than their families do. Let's see what they texted their friends after they committed those murders. Let's see that evidence. Hand over that evidence. If they feel badly about it, hand over the evidence of those texts to the local prosecutor in Minneapolis, County Attorney Mary Moriarty, who will join us in a moment. She needs those texts for her investigation. Think of how sick and unfeeling and inhuman you would have to be to say that those ICE agents feel worse about those murders than anybody. It's the kind of thing you can verbally stumble into, but as soon as you heard yourself say it, you'd correct it and say, of course, they don't feel as bad as the families of the dead, but they feel pretty bad about it. Donald Trump's an extremist in all things, and he's always an extremist in his language, in his pathological lying. So he can't say his ICE agents feel bad. He has to say they feel worse than anybody. And because he was somehow condemned to a life without human feeling, he has no idea what it means to say a thing like that. No, Donald, your ICE agents do not feel worse than Renee Good's brothers, who testified at that joint House-Senate hearing yesterday.
Sunlight doesn't ask for recognition. It just gives. It warms, it nurtures, it helps things grow. Renee did that for us. She helped us grow. She helped us believe in ourselves. She helped us see the good, even when life felt heavy. Renee is not gone from us. She's in the light that finds us on hard days. She's in the resilience we didn't know we had until we needed it. She's in the laughter, the memories, the love that continues to grow. Like dandelions, like sunlight, and like Renee. Thank you.